Hey y'all, it's Jess from Sunflower Dairy. It is freezing cold out here today. It's probably in the 30s. The ground is frozen, but I figured I would give you all a garden tour. If you've never been here before, we're zone 5B, 6A. We try to show you what we're harvesting, what we're planting, what we're growing, and all of that. And we try to do that as much as we possibly can, just to keep you all updated so you know what exactly is growing in our growing zone if you're the same growing zone, or if you're another growing zone, you can kind of see what we're doing and compare it to your growing zone. So there's not really much out here right now except for cold weather crops, but I'm gonna harvest a few things, so let's get started. All right, so it is, like I said, pretty chilly out here, but I have a few things that I want to harvest today. So over here we're stopping at the Dino Kale. This is grown pretty good. It's not really too frozen, so I'm gonna go ahead and harvest some of this for some kale chips. And even though it's pretty cold, there is still new growth on this. So, but I'm gonna harvest this for kale chips. I'm going to break this up into potato chip sizes, put olive oil and salt and pepper on these, and then bake them in the oven until they're just like potato chips. Also, when kale is growing in the cold weather and it freezes, it actually gets sweeter, so it's not as bitter and it tastes a bit better. A lot of people say they don't like kale, so if you actually grow kale in the winter time, when it freezes, you might actually like it a bit better. All right. Quite a bit of kale in here. Alright, I'm going to get several different varieties and do a couple different ones. But this one is the Dino Kale. You can see kind of why. Alright, let's move over to the next one. Next up is curly kale. You can kind of see why that's called curly kale. So I'm going to harvest some of this as well. Still a good amount of new growth on this. Growth is slower in the winter time, but kale still grows in the winter. We're moving over to this purple Red Russian variety. Look at how gorgeous that color is. So we're going to harvest some of that today. Quite a bit of new growth on this as well. The colors on these are just gorgeous. Is a good bit. So let's check out. I want to grab a few green onions for some stew later. So I'm gonna go over here. Green onions grow pretty well in the winter. Check out those green onions. And you can use them in stew or anything that you want some onion flavor in. So those grow pretty well. So I'm going to harvest a few of those. Check those out. Alright, let's see if we can find a little bit of Swiss chard. Swiss chard is awesome, kind of like spinach. Let's find some Swiss chard over here. Alright, I found some Swiss chard. Just a little bit of Swiss chard, but this, you can use this just like spinach. Look at those leaves. They look a lot like spinach. Look at that. The beautiful color on that Swiss chard. Alright all, as you can see, I have a whole basket full of winter produce, and a lot of people are like, is it worth it to grow a winter garden? Can I grow a winter garden? You can. You can grow a lot of food in the winter time. You got to get it started. You got to get the plants started and planted at the right time so that they're big and established by the time the cold weather comes. Alright all, thank you for watching. Have a blessed day.